Hey, I want to join here real quick to let you know something. It is not the time for blame. That's right. I mean, we could spend the next 3, 6, 9 months continuing to blame others for the state of the next generation, but it won't bring any change. What it is time for, it is time for change. The next generation needs parents. They need you, mom, dad. You're the ones that God has entrusted them to. There's no need to blame. There's no need to continue to blame the entertainment industry. There's no need to continue to blame technology. There's no need to continue to blame cell phones. There's no need to continue to blame politicians. There's no need to continue to blame celebrities. The buck actually stops with the parents. This is the way God created things to be. And even when you look at the children of Israel as they were heading into the promised land, one of the commands that God gave the parents was this: to ensure that the next generation continue to be trained up and led in the ways and in the life of God. And you can find that in Deuteronomy chapter 6. Well, it's no different in today's time. In today's time, what we have allowed ourselves to do is sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, but we've allowed ourselves to let other responsibilities, other demands take the leading role and take the place of the responsibility that we actually have to parent. And by kind of default, others have now begun to take the lead in leading up the next generation. But it's not others' jobs and responsibilities to lead the next generation, no matter how sincere or how noble their intent may be. The reality is, God has a way in which He set things up to go. And when we get away from those ways, we see chaos ensuing. I know there's this popular phrase, "It takes a village to raise a child," is out there, but again, the reality is God gave the children first and foremost to the parents. At best, the community is supposed to be reinforcing that which should already be taught in the home. Just like Joshua told the children of Israel, he said, listen, you choose this day whether you're going to serve the Lord. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So again, at best, the community should be reinforcing what the home should already be instilling and teaching the next generation. But at worst, the community can actually take the leading role in raising up the next generation, and that can lead to flat out disaster. So when we look at the state of the next generation's mental health, when we look at the low reading scores, when we look at the low math scores, when we look at the low level of resiliency and just abilities to have self-confidence, when we look at, again, just the negative mental state, and we look at all the challenges that continue to prevail right now with the next generation, the question we have to ask ourselves is, when will we as parents say enough is enough? Because regardless of how we got here, regardless of who we could point the blame at, the reality is the responsibility to raise up the next generation lies with the parents. So even in the situation where maybe you may feel like, hey, I have kind of let go of some responsibility, I've allowed others to raise up and train up my children. The good news is this: if you gave up or have forfeited some of your responsibility, now is the time where you can rise up and take it back and step back in your rightful position in place of authority to parent the next generation. Listen, the next generation needs you. The world needs you to step in and lead, guide, and parent the next generation for God's glory, not man's ways. Be blessed. Talk more soon.